Section 8. In Section 8, we're going to talk about pragmatic, but this time more in details. For example, we're going to talk about discourse, which means like speech during the social interaction, or let's say social speech. Unlike the private speech, here the aim of discourse is being understood by at least one listener. So you should have another person in your conversation to do discourse. Without that, you cannot do discourse. Rule number 1. Is there any other rules for discourse? Yes, we're gonna have two main rules for discourse. Number 1 gonna be turn taking, which is just altering the rules. Altering the roles between the speaker and listener. For example, in discourse, you cannot just talk on and on and on. You have to let other people to contribute to the discussion as well. While you are doing that contribution, you're gonna do turnabout. Basically, you're gonna let other people to listen to you, make some comments, but you're gonna just go back again to conversation to add your input or asking them for doing like something else. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, now I'm just doing the lecture. I'm not doing any discourse because I don't have like a listener in front of me, or I'm doing that asynchronous online meeting. I'm just doing that asynchronous, which means like there is no actual listener to me right now. Yeah, hopefully there are gonna be some listeners in 2 days. But the point here, this is not a discourse because I don't have a person right in front of me. And I'm not doing any sort of turnabout. I'm not letting you all to just contribute to this concept, or I'm not letting you all to just talk about this or anything. So basically, this is not a discourse. However, if we had this class in person, I would lecture, then you guys would just contribute to the concept, then I would add some information. So basically, we were just altering some roles here, and we were just adding different information here and there. So that way, it would have been some sort of discourse. But now, this is not a discourse. There's going to be another way of conversation, illocutionary intent, which you all know about this. For example, the idea of, let's say, there is a wild cat in your kitchen. Okay. I mean, this is not the actual concept of this sentence. The actual concept, the idea of this sentence is secure the kitchen. Put the meat, if you have any meat on counter, inside of the fridge, because basically this cat might harm the meat that is on counter, might eat them, or I mean, I don't know. They are wild cats, so they can do anything. So it can be illocutionary intent, which actually the idea of the idea of that your wording is not necessarily consistent with the meaning. There are going to be some advanced skills in children. In this course, for example, they're going to do social referential ability, which means like they're gonna, I don't know why is that expand window to show video. Okay, I know that, but it's just bothering me here. Yeah, okay, it's okay now. But yeah, back to more advanced skills. We're gonna have social referential ability in children, which is just telling a story from a book that like their peers actually did not read that story, or watching a cartoon and telling the content of that cartoon to their friends who um, did not actually watch that cartoon, and just let them to understand and comprehend the content. For example, I don't know if you are a Game of Thrones fan, but just imagine if I would just talk about an episode. Let's say Red Wedding, which is just my favorite episode of Game of Thrones. If I would just talk about this and share my inputs, an idea, and feeling about that episode, that you guys didn't watch that episode, then I make you all to make some comments about this. For example, you would say that, wow, literally, like that guy killed the whole family. And I would say, yes, it was crazy. That moment, for example, Rob Stark did that. It was just insane. and we're gonna have a discussion on and on. If it would happen between us, it's gonna be social referential ability of us that's making comments about something that I watched, you guys didn't watch. Another ability in children is adjusting their speech to the listener's age. For example, when they are talking to younger siblings or younger friends, they actually make themselves adjustable to the age of that person. For example, if a child is just 8 years old and they're gonna just talk about the idea of a toy to their like 2 years old brother, they're gonna actually adjust their tone based on their brother as well. So this kind of stuff gonna be more advanced skill. It was a group activity before. I used that for my previous class, but here is a question for you all. I just want to just read them and read the textbook first of all, and just do your best just answering these two questions because they're gonna be important. It can just actually help you a lot to just understand how family, technology, and culture can just help children to just develop their language and literacy. And it's gonna actually help you to just understand the idea of discourse and how discourse gonna develop in children as well.